With Election Day right around the corner, listen to what some of the candidates had to say about voting. In Jaguar Sports, we'll take a look at Tamusa's softball and men's basketball. The university hosted Denim Day as part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Welcome to Enlace. My name is Lizbeth Perez. I'm outside the Vista Room, bringing you campus and community news. The university encouraged students to wear jeans on Denim Day for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Departments such as Title IX were outside talking to students and faculty members about what this month and day means for survivors.
So we just bring attention to the survivors and honor them, that whatever happened to them, it was not their fault. And it doesn't matter how tight your clothes are, you weren't asking to be sexually assaulted.
On April 28, everyone was encouraged to wear denim to show support for victims of sexual assault, harassment, abuse, and rape. Members of A&M San Antonio were also able to write an inspiring message on a denim heart and pin it to themselves for the rest of the day. More booths, including playing a game of archery with rec sports and talking about the facts of hazing with the A&M San Antonio Police Department, were at this event to help spread awareness as well. A group of volunteers gathered to make repairs on the butterfly garden on campus. Danica Alcantar tells us more.
The green trees and blooming flowers further proves it's springtime at A&M San Antonio. To celebrate the new season, the butterfly garden located behind Patriots Casa received some TLC.
Basically, the idea behind the butterfly garden was that we were going to be helping the monarchs as they made their way down south for their butterfly migration. So this was kind of like a pit stop for the butterflies during that time, with a tie-in to Latinx Heritage Month.
Students gathered to weed out the mess this past year has left behind and create a fresh start.
The big freeze that we had earlier this year, I think that it killed a lot of our plants out here, so now it's not as self-sustaining, so after that it was less self-sustaining and everything was just kind of dead, which has happened to a lot of people's gardens, right? So that's partially why this move was necessary, but we are currently planning to expand it in the fall, so that way we can get more student engagement out here.
Volunteers shared ideas and helped an already climate-friendly event become more green.
Okay, so there's a compost pile actually by the garden, and we wanted to bring all these bags of vegetation back there for the compost, because there sure is a lot of it, so.
This is just the first step for the butterfly garden to be ready for the next monarch butterfly migration. In the meantime, volunteers shared why events like these bring them such happiness.
I love being outside. I love seeing the ecosystem, the vegetation, how we're sort of helping by weeding and just making the world a little bit of a better place, one step at a time.
Reporting for Enlace, this is Danica Alcantar.
A virtual panel discussion to be held on May 3rd opens topics that include identity, mobility, and hate crimes against Asian and Pacific Islanders during Asia-Pacific Heritage Month. The discussion will include different speakers and is sponsored by the President's Commission on Equity and the Criminology Program. Dr. Nolasco talks about the importance of inclusion for Asian Americans.
Increases tolerance and acceptance of these minority population. I think it's important towards our goal, towards understanding and accepting our fellow citizens, our fellow immigrants to the United States.
Up next, Armando tells us more about the May 1st election. Bexar County broke the record for the most early ballots during voting. Armando Villarreal spoke to a few candidates about the importance of voting.
San Antonio residents headed to the polls on May 1st to vote for mayor, all 10 city council seats, and 2 propositions. Former District 6 councilman and candidate for San Antonio mayor talks about the importance of voting in local elections.
These elections, all 11 seats, 10 council members, and 1 mayor, affect our decisions for the next 2 years, whether it's CPS Energy, SAWS, police, fire, your streets and sidewalks. Local government affects your life more than any other form of government, whether it's the president, governor, any of those. It's local government. Our mayor and city council affect you more than anybody.
Over 101,000 people casted their votes during early voting, and more than 45,000 residents voted on Election Day, making it the largest turnout for a spring election in 20 years, according to the Bexar County Elections Department.
I think it's time that people from San Antonio get out and vote and speak up. Don't just sit back and complain and hope that somebody else takes care of it for you.
Clayton Perry, the incumbent who was re-elected for City Council District 10, says local elections have more direct impact to residents than any other election.
If there's any elections that affect you directly, I mean, it's the local elections. It's your city council. That's who affects you directly, more than actually the federal government. They're really disconnected from the people. Here at City Council, we're on the ground. This is where the rubber meets the road, and this is where you can have the most impact on what happens in your day-to-day activities and where your tax dollars are going here in this city.
San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg won a 3rd term as mayor on May 1st. Proposition A passed, allowing San Antonio to fund affordable housing with bond money. However, Proposition B failed to pass, with 51% voting against the effort to reform the contract negotiating process between the city and the police. I'm Armando Villarreal, Enlace.
Derek Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 counts of 2nd and 3rd degree murder, along with 2nd degree manslaughter on Tuesday, April 20th, for the murder of George Floyd. Each charge comes with its own sentencing. The highest carries 40 years in prison. He faces up to 75 years of prison and is set to be sentenced in 8 weeks. Since the murder of George Floyd, there have been calls to action for the police accountability and reform. A new proposed bill is reflecting the call for action. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act has been approved by the House. Some of the things that the bill addresses are ending the use of deadly force by police, a ban on no-knock warrants in federal drug cases, and prohibits racial, religious, and discriminatory profiling by law enforcement. We will be right back with sports and a preview of the NFL draft.
Welcome to Jaguar Sports. I'm your host, Xander Chavarria, here to bring you the latest in the sports world. In softball action, the Jaguars went on the road for a 3-game series against the Generals of LSU Alexandria this past week. In the first game, the Jaguars fought hard but fell short 7-3. Later on in the second game, it was complete domination by the Generals, taking the victory with an 8-0 score. And finally, on Tuesday, the Jaguars kept it close, but the offensive power of the Generals was too much and took the third game with a 4-0 score. Melissa Gonzalez was one of the 5 Jaguars with hits in the last game. The Jaguars will conclude their inaugural season this weekend with a 3-game series at Houston Victoria. Last week, the men's club basketball team held a fundraiser at the Chili's near South Park Mall. Along with taking donations, the team also sold custom-made t-shirts, and there was even a small hoop set up for children to shoot on and win some candy. We spoke with a couple of players to get their reactions to the event.
We're just hoping that everyone comes out, shows us support. It'd be really nice to get some fans in the arena, so we're promoting that, as well as just trying to get a fundraiser and raise some money for our club's funds.
Just out here trying to be in the community, just get the word out to everybody, just to let us know that we have a preseason. We have like a little pro-am preseason that we got going on. We face a couple of different schools, and it's just exciting, and we're just ready to come out here and be able to support.
For more information on upcoming events and games, go to the team's Instagram and Facebook page. The A&M San Antonio's men's basketball team took the court April 23rd, looking to bounce back from their rough first game. Reporter Marshall Best takes us in for more information.
After a tough loss the week prior, the A&M San Antonio men's club basketball team looked to bounce back against the Cowboys. The Jaguars found themselves down early, but fought back with some great offense and defensive stops and found themselves down 1 within the closing seconds of the game. That's when freshman Jeffrey Williams hit the go-ahead bucket and senior guard Brown Hawkins took the game-winning charge. We spoke with both of them and their head coach to get their reactions on the game.
I started off a little bit slow. I know I had to get back into the groove just so I could go my team win the game. It was a tough game. It was close the whole time. I'm glad we was able to pull through in the end. It was a tough game. A lot of people stepped in today. Shout out to all our guards. We've been working really hard this whole week of practice, and I'm just glad that we came out with the win. Doing everything that we can to succeed and get to the next step. Keep practicing on to the next game.
Today was a well-fought game. Definitely mental test today. Cons, I guess we're still very young. We have to go ahead and be poised, especially in the close moments of the game. We have a lead going down the stretch. We have to make sure we take control of that. We have to go ahead and make sure that we know that there isn't a rush. That with the ball's in our hand, we ultimately control the time. We have to continue to keep the same energy. When the team is in it, we're in it, and I believe that energy is everything. When the guys bring the energy, they are unbeatable. This game and last game, when you see it, we definitely make runs that are complete game changers.
The Jaguars look to keep their winning streak going next week against the Vipers. For Enlace News, I'm Marshall Best.
The NFL Draft is tonight and will be live in person. Big names this year include Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who is projected to go number 1 in this year's draft. Other quarterbacks include Justin Fields, Davis Mills, and NCAA champion Mac Jones. Heisman winner Devonta Smith will be featured in as well and is projected to be a first-round pick. The 2021 draft will be live on ABC, ESPN, and the NFL Network at 7 p.m. Central Time. Don't go anywhere. Have You Seen This Yet is coming up in entertainment.
Welcome back to Have You Seen This Yet? This week, I'll be giving a short recap for some of the standout wins from this year's Academy Awards, as well as a review for the video game-based action movie Mortal Kombat. As always, be prepared for spoilers.
The 93rd Academy Awards made some history already by setting it all up to meet COVID-19 safety standards, but the latest buzz has been about the big winners from that night. The movie Nomadland seems to have gone home with the most awards, seeing as Frances McDormand won for Best Actress, making this her third Oscar win for the category, Chloe Zhao winning Best Director, becoming the first woman of color to win said award, and the movie overall winning Best Picture. Yoon Ya-jung became the first Korean actress to win an Oscar for her supporting role in Minari, while Daniel Kaluuya won Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal in Judas and the Black Messiah. The Oscar win that's been coming up the most for discussion is the one that also came with quite a bit of backlash. Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor for his performance in The Father over the late Chadwick Boseman's in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which had been heavily preferred. Whether or not this award was given to the actor that deserved it has been up for debate ever since. It's easy to give a negative review of Mortal Kombat due to the many faults it has. Faults that include predictable tropes that come with the Chosen One storyline and the flat dialogue that's worth a cringe or two. But fans aren't here for excellent storytelling or stellar writing, are they? From the beginning, the film delivers on its well-choreographed fight scenes, good special effects, and brutal violence that isn't suitable for young audiences. The protagonists, while on the more generic side, are likable enough to root for in this fun watch of a gruesome action flick. So, if all you're hoping for is a fast-paced, gritty, humorous piece with little to no depth, then this is the movie for you. Mortal Kombat is now playing in theaters and available to stream on HBO Max. This has been Santa Perez with Have You Seen This Yet?
Thank you for watching. That's all we have for you this week. Stay safe and remember to wear your mask.